Yo, what is going on, you guys? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. In today's video, what we'll be discussing is Anthony Davis. I was going to try to wait until we recorded a long form podcast this week, but I feel like it's just been such a buzz. There's been so many conversations about him that I wanted to kind of make a video. What's been going on with the reporting in that. Obviously, we did get a video from Shams Charania stating that the Pistons, the Hawks, and the Raptors were three teams to kind of keep an eye on in terms of possibly trading for him. And today we got an article from ClutchPoints.com, Brett Siegel to be exact, and he kind of went into depth of what he's hearing across the NBA, and just not Anthony Davis. If you guys are interested in this article, I will link it down below in the description, and you can check it out and read it and some of the mock trades that he did come up with. But what he's hearing about Anthony Davis, because I think this is actually pretty big news as it does relate to Detroit Pistons fans kind of being on the fence whether or not they want their team to make a big splash. So let's get into today's video. So there will be two parts of this article as it does kind of relate to the Pistons and Anthony Davis that we'll be reading. And I'll give you guys my overall thoughts on just the whole trade rumor with him. So the first part of this article I want to go over is right here. I'll just highlight it so you guys can see it. And it says, to this point, the Detroit Pistons have held no conversations with the Dallas Mavericks about a possible Anthony Davis trade, league sources told Clutch Points. However, Davis continues to be linked to the Pistons by fans and league personnel as their ultimate star trade target before this year's trade deadline for obvious reasons. Now, there are two parts in this article that I want to go over with you guys that really caught my attention. The first part in this first sentence says the Detroit Pistons have held no conversations with Dallas Mavericks about a possible Anthony Davis trade. That was the first part that really caught my attention. We saw Shams mention the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Hawks as teams that could possibly be interested in him yesterday on ESPN. And the second part, I think it grabbed my attention as well. It says Davis continues to be linked to the Pistons by fans, league personnel as their ultimate star trade target before this year's trade deadline for obvious reasons. Now, whether it's big media personalities like a KOC, a Kevin O'Connor, a Zach Lowe, I've even seen Bill Simmons kind of throw out ideas for Detroit Pistons trades. Like, I think a lot of people across the league are anticipating what the Detroit Pistons might do. They're trying to see in from the outside what they might do. What's their next big move? Would Anthony Davis kind of make sense for a team that has Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren in the front court and Tobias Harris? What are they going to do with Tobias Harris because he's in the last year of an expiring $26 million deal? Are they happy with Karis LeVert? What's going on with Jaden Ivey? There are a lot of questions that I think credential media members that are more on a national scale and a national basis are trying to figure out with the Detroit Pistons right now. So that was my first takeaway with this first part of this article. We're going to get to the second part of the article that kind of gives you more understanding of what the Pistons could possibly do at the trade market and what they're kind of feeling at this deadline. The final mention in this article, as it does relate to the Pistons, says this: as of right now, the Pistons have yet to signal that they're willing to go all in on pursuing a superstar like Davis who could hit the trade market. All indications are that Detroit will keep its youth and continue to develop what it believes to be a contending force for many years to come. So what they're hearing from the Detroit Pistons organization is they really have not made up their mind what they want to do. Indications are they want to continue growing with Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. You get it, all these young guys, Ron Holland. Like, they have a lot of young talent that they're trying to develop. They're 19-5. They're the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. I think where they're at right now is a very unique place, and it's a great problem to have if you're the Detroit Pistons. You're playing some of your best basketball that you've played in probably, like the last 20 years or so. JB Bickerstaff has these guys playing at a very high level. Now, are there holes on this roster? Absolutely. Do the Pistons need to make some upgrades at the deadline? Yes. Is it going to be for a big star like an Anthony Davis or a Lauri Markkanen? Probably not as of right now. Everything that Clutch Points is hearing is they're looking to just keep developing the guys that they have. And if they can add marginally, whether that is more playmaking, more three-point shooting, maybe a secondary, go-to score, I think Trajan and the Detroit Pistons will look to add those areas. I personally think when I'm looking at this roster right now, the one weakness I would say is perimeter shooting. Outside of Duncan Robinson, we don't really have a consistent three-point shooter. We saw when he missed 2 straight games with a sprained ankle how bad the floor spacing was around Cade Cunningham. If I did have to make a guess, I think the Detroit Pistons will target three-point shooters and playmakers for the second unit, so Cade Cunningham doesn't have to play damn near 37, 38 minutes a game. But that's just kind of my spin on it. And you guys kind of have a better understanding of these Anthony Davis trade rumors. For right now, it's just a lot of noise from the big media markets like ESPN, Yahoo Sports, and others. Did want to give you guys a quick little update on just the trade rumors that are circling with the Detroit Pistons and AD. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day. Take care. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.